Hey everybody, it's Christy with Christy Artistry. Thank you for joining me tonight. I know that I'm behind in showing you final paintings. I haven't had time to high gloss my paintings, and I'm running low of my high gloss finish, so I'm going to pick some of the paintings that I had good comments on, and I'll get those glossed so I can show you the final results of those. I'm also working on the space paintings, and I have two, I think, of those. I think I had two of those left to show you. I don't know if I'll have them put up before this painting, you know, for our trip down to Mayo, or if it'll be after. So just keep watching for those. They're coming. Okay, so tonight we're going to be working on a little 10 by 20 canvas, and I'm going to run it horizontally, even though it's really thin. I have a cute little idea I want to try, and so I'm going to go ahead and bring you down. I'm not going to flood the canvas because I'm going to show you what we're going to be doing, and let's see what happens. I'll be right back. Here is our 20 by 10 canvas that I have leveled, and I think because it's a small canvas, we're going to need to pull out the flower dryer, because the flower dryer is much smaller, and what I want to do tonight is, you know, it's a small canvas. Alright, so here is my color palette for tonight. I am taking this canvas, and I'm sort of separating it out into two sections. This lower section is going to be these colors here. I may add some gold for some sparkle, or I may add some silver silver, I forget what this is called, mica powder. I haven't decided yet, but I can make that decision at the end and then sprinkle this on top or add some gold. I haven't decided yet. So that's going to be that combination would be this bottom section here. Then for my top section, I have chosen several blues and my white, and this is just the old Artist Loft 2020 paint with a little bit of cell creator added to give me some cells. So let's get started. So again, bottom section is going to be our brown tan, top section is going to be our blues, and then we'll go from there. So I'm going to start by putting on my Artist Loft parchment. Okay, so this is just a nice light tan color, really nice. I'm just gonna give it a good amount because I'm gonna be blowing this down this way. Now I have this old tannish brown that we used on a painting quite a while ago, so I'm just gonna use this up since I have a little bit of it. There we go. So we're just going to add that in, because again, I want to use up my paints so that I don't waste them. And I had just a little bit, you see, left. There we go. Now, oh. All right. Now I can wash that bottle out and use it for something else. And then lastly, I'm just going to add a little bit of my burnt umber from Liquitex Basics, just to give a little bit of darkness to this. Wow. You can tell I haven't used these paints. I can't get the lids off. But I'm just going to use a little bit. So like, whoa. That was more than I wanted. Just some little accents here and there. Okay, there's my phone. Alright, and let me look. Alright, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use my spatula and I'm going to mix these colors, because that will make a determination for me as to whether or not I want to add the gold or that mica powder I was talking about. And again, if I choose not to add the mica powder now, I can do that later. I'm just going to blend these a little bit. Boy, my phone is blowing up. I don't know what's going on. Okay, like so. And I'm just, you know, gently kind of mixing these up ahead of blowing them out. Okay, I'm not worried about the edges right now because when we blow this out, the edges will be covered. So there is my color for down here. So now I'm going to blow this out. Okay, so I've got that portion done. I love what's happening now here. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tap these edges because I don't want to kind of mess up the design. If you notice, this is a nice blend, excuse me, blend of the browns and the tan and the parchment. And that's what I want to keep. I blew it out with the lightest setting first. And then once I got the colors lightly mixed, that's when I turned up the dryer and blew them a little bit heavier to make sure that everything ran down because I want this pattern on my edges as well. That's why I'm not going to tap and add paint. I'm just going to fill in by tapping and then letting it sit, and it's going to run down and finish the design. Add a little bit of paint, and then this will pull this down and it'll finish the design, and it won't look like you know, I've got fingerprints all over the place. Okay, so that is that portion of our painting. So now, and I'm not going to put the gold in. I decided I didn't want the gold in there. I'm going to wait. I may add some actual gold mica powder, or I may just add the silver mica powder. I haven't decided yet, so we're going to leave that alone. Now I'm going to work on this section. And for this section, I'm going to be using my Academy Acrylics, Thalo Blue, my Liquitex Basics. Well, it's Thalo Blue as well, just a different company. And then I've got Academy Acrylic Permanent Blue Light. I had to refill this last night because I ran out. And then I'm going to use some of my Deco Art Extreme Sheen Sky Blue Topaz for some shimmer and shine. And then what we're going to do is when I'm done with that, that's when we're going to put in some Cell Creator. So I kind of want this to settle down a little bit before I do the blue portion. So I'm going to let that settle down, and then I'll be right back with you. Alright, so here's our 10 by 20 painting, the first steps. And I turned it your direction so you can see the real pretty bottom part here. And now we're going to add our blues. I'm going to do it similar to what I did with that. I'm going to start with my Academy Acrylic Phthalo Blue. Next I am going to add my Academy Acrylic Permanent Blue Light. I think I mentioned I had to refilled this bottle because I've used this color so much lately. I really like this color. I don't like this bottle, but I like this color. All right, we're just going to pour it on this way because I do need quite a bit of this blue. Just be careful not to get too close to up there yet. All right, then I'm going to add the Deco Art Extreme Sheen Sky Blue Topaz. So it's extreme, excuse me, it's Deco Art Extreme Sheen Sky Blue Topaz. And I'm adding this one because it's lighter of a blue, and it also has the Deco Art Extreme Sheen, so it will shimmer. And then last I'm going to add a little bit of my Liquitex Basic Phthalocyan Blue because it's a little bit lighter than the Prussian, or excuse me, than the Thalo Blue, but not as light as the other two that we've already put in there. So again, dark colors are kind of my accents, lighter blues are my main color. All right, I'm going to take the spatula again. And I'm going to mix these colors. Okay, that's a pretty good mix. Alright, now we're going to take the flower hairdryer again and we're going to blow this up. So here we go. Okay, so that is the next step. And I just would like a little more mixture in here, I think. Let's see if I can drag out, there we go, some more of those darker colors from underneath here. And then I'll blow it out again. Whoop. Oh, I flipped my stick and hit my side. So I did draw out some of the darker blue. I just didn't want all this beautiful dark blue to go to waste. Okay, I think I like that. Just adding a little bit blue here and there. Let's make sure that my sides get covered. We have good roll down here. And don't see any of them. Okay. Looks pretty good. Okay, now I'm going to let this dry. And when this dries, we'll come back and put on our final touches. I think you can kind of see where I'm going with this one, right? Ocean, beach, but let's wait and see how it ends. All right. Now, what I'm going to do now is, because I have some leftover of the blue here, scrape some of it up and save it, because our next step is where I'm going to add on the bubbles for the waves and things. And I want to be able to have extra blue in case I need to do some touch-ups. So I'm just going to pull off a little bit off the table here, just so I have a little bit for touch-ups later. There's not much here, but it should be enough. I keep stepping on things on the floor behind me here. All right, so that is step number 2. Now, like I said, we just need to let it settle down a little bit, because when I add the white, I'm adding the white with the cell creator in it to be able to get the bubbles to go where I want. And I don't want it to mix in too much with the blue, so I'm going to let it calm itself down and start to dry before I do that. So I will be back when that happens. All right, so here is our painting so far. It's dry, and we're going to attempt to add our waves, or not our waves, but our foam that's going to go up on the beach and then down in the water a little bit more than is currently. So I'm going to be using my Artist Loft parchment. I may add what's left of this tan in here as well. So let's run, let's see, we want foam here. So I'm just going to run a bead of tan here, here, and a little bit more here. And if there's any left, just a little of this for color. Mixture. This may or may not work, so we're going to find out. I've done this with resin, and resin you can heat up and move around and it works great. This is dried paint that I'm adding wet paint to, so it may not work as well as I'm hoping, but I'm going to give it a shot. So I'm going to take colors. So I'm going to take, where's this one? Can't seem to get this one to squeeze out of there, so I have to gently pour it. Okay, so we're going to take this blue, our permanent blue, and add a bead below the tan. Run a little over here, and then a little over here. And because this one also had the darker blue in it, I'm going to run run a little bit of the darker blue in this one as well. So that one's fine. Oh, this one a little bit. Alright, so like I said, this may work, it may not, simply for the fact that, like I said, with resin, you can heat up the resin, and when you heat up the resin, of course, you can move the resin in the acrylic paint that you've got in the resin around. This, I can't do that. I have to just try to figure out how to get these to work together to do what I need them to do. So we're going to try this, and if it doesn't work, I may have to think of something else. So I'm mixing them, and I'm putting the white in between the two colors in the hopes that I will get the blend that I need to create the cells that I need for the foam. Okay, try this again. So I did try this earlier with just the white and it didn't work. So now I've decided I needed to add the colors in there. Alright, let's mix them together and see what happens. Okay, so it worked the way I was hoping. This will blend in, this will not blend in, so I need to fix this because I don't have enough of the dark paint there, so I do need to work this out like so. That just went too far down. So now we'll blend it back in. Okay, and I've got some rolling, which is what I wanted. I wanted these, see these rolls here, like this? I'm hoping that those will dry and when you'll feel like they rolled up. Okay, I kind of like that. I'm going to turn it around this way so you guys can see what we were going for. See kind of what we're going for? Yeah. So it's got the up and the beach wave mixtured here. I think this needs a little work. So skip that section here. So I think I need to bring it down a little bit. Off that a little bit. And then repair that. And then we'll blow this part out a little bit again. I don't want it to be too much. There we go. And I'll fix that. Because we don't want that to be too much. I don't want it to get into the dark colors and ruin my dark colors. So now, this dryer is so hot. Ugh. If the dryer wasn't so hot, I could do this better. But it's a little drier and it gets really hot really fast. I'm just going to add some more of the white in here. See if I can get a few more cells in there. Maybe. I lost it there. See, this is not as easy as it looks. Did not like that at all. But again, it's one thing about acrylic paint is until it dries, you can work with it. So I'm just going to take a baby wipey here, and I'm going to clean off. Whoopsie! I'm going to clean this one off because I just didn't like how that section flowed. And since the acrylic paint underneath is dry, a baby wipe will take it off easy. Like so. Okay. Actually, now that I'm looking at it, I don't think I need anything over here. I like it now. I think I actually was ruining it by adding that. This needs to come down a bit. Yeah. Now it's coming together. That better. Okay. Now we're getting somewhere. It's all about working it out. Just wanted to put this back up a little bit. Give that a little bit more. Love that area. Not so sure about the dark blue, but I'm not going to mess with that anymore. Or am I? There, covered up the blue. I have this little bit of white here that's kind of an area that got messed up. So let's fix that now while everything else is wet. To do that, I am literally just going to paint on and the paint there and in there. Dries because I've added it in clumps or whatever, you won't see it. Brown in here. The only thing I can see is I'm going to take some of this from the table, a tiny bit here. To have run down there. And this side, I just need to take my baby wipe and clean up the edge. Like so, from the blue that I scraped off. Easy. Alright. Alright, so I like this now. I'm glad I took that section off. It looks so much better without that section. And I'm going to show it to you. Because with the hairdryer, the paints are drying really quick. But I get some 3D effect in here because of the layers that once I high gloss it should stay. Okay, here we go. So here we go. So do you see, I hope you can see what I'm looking at as far as like 3D effect. It's got the right thicker area here. And yes, it will dry and it will go down, but when I gloss it, you should get that effect back again. All right, so here's our painting now. And I'm bringing down so you can see where we added. So here is where we added the next layer. And so you can see right now, because it's wet, it's raised up. But because the layers are on top of each other and the lines aren't perfectly matching, you'll be able to see kind of the, what I call the 3D effect, like here, once the high gloss is on. So let me see if I can tilt it to the side. If I tilt it to the side, you can see the ridges much better. And while the ridges won't necessarily be there, the colors will be. And I'm glad I took this section back off, because I love how this section looks right now next to this section. So let's show you the whole painting again. So this is what it looks like right now. And like I said, if I decide to put the mica powder in to make the sand glisten, or even in the C portion, I will bring you back. Otherwise, I will get this high gloss finished, and then I'll show it to you in a video in the future. So until then, my next video will be out in 3 days. Take care of yourselves, and please take care of each other. Bye.